This is NHTV2, North Haven Government Television, a service of North Haven Community Television. The following program is brought to you through the support of the Town of North Haven.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mike Freda here at Town Hall, and today is Thursday, May 7th. I'd like to provide for each and every one of you another COVID-19 update. This will be the first of two meetings we have here today at Town Hall, ladies and gentlemen. At 7 p.m. tonight, we will have a teleconference Board of Selectmen meeting, and that'll be here also on Channel 20 on NHTV and Frontier Network 1084. So I wanted to spend a few minutes with you this afternoon prior to our upcoming Board of Selectmen meeting to take you through where we are as of today with COVID-19. Let's take a look at the current numbers, and these numbers are as of this morning. We continue to see a rise in the confirmed laboratory infections. We are now at 203. We are at 10, sadly, fatalities. This is a number, ladies and gentlemen, both numbers we continue to watch very closely. At the same time, the state is looking at, on or about May 20th, to slowly reopen our state and businesses across the state. This is a trend we'll be watching, and we hope to see this number flatten out in the next 2 weeks. Again, 203 total confirmed infections, laboratory confirmed, with 10 fatalities. A quick review where we are here with our government buildings. All our town buildings do and have been remain closed for the safety of our residents and our employees, but the government continues to function every day. Public Works, as an example, as I mentioned last time, all sanitation and recycling continues to be on schedule. We have yet to be able to work out the deposit of our municipal waste at our original facility on South Cherry Street in Wallingford, but we're still managing, we're doing well, and for the residents, our goal is to continue to be on time and on a regular schedule for these two critical services. Just a friendly reminder that our bulk pickup has been postponed until the last 2 full weeks of June. There will not be a deviation on this. We've published this. This is the way it'll be. I appreciate your patience, and I appreciate the fact that you understood that we had to move the bulk pickup from April to June. This really gave us a lot of relief in our public works. Those first responders also who are out there every day collecting sanitation and collecting recyclables. So June 15th and June 26th will be the dates of our bulk pickup. Police and fire continue to run very efficiently. Under the auspices of Chief Paul Januszewski and Chief Tom McLaughlin, all critical first responders are still in place, in line, performing services on behalf of our citizens. All calls for services continue to be met. And again, every time I say this, and I hope you will agree, we really appreciate our first responders, those police officers, those firefighters, and those public works workers who are out there every day. Let's shift subjects for a second, and let's do a quick review as to where we are on our fiscal year 2021 budget process. So once again, we've had to make adjustments. Under the governor's executive orders, all of us municipalities are doing things a little bit differently as we try to work through this pandemic. So our budget, we will be, myself and our superintendent of schools, on May 14th, I will be here at this dais presenting to the town our budget, and I will be announcing a mill rate decrease, as I mentioned last time. That decrease will be anywhere in the range of 0.25 to 0.33 mils in terms of a mill rate decrease. Our superintendent of schools, Patrick Stirk, will be live via teleconference and will present the Board of Ed budget. This budget, ladies and gentlemen, is available on the town website. Residents may submit questions, and in advance, those questions to be submitted in advance, and they will be answered. And questions must be received by the close of business on May 12th. As I mentioned last time, this is just another review. Budget questions can be emailed, and that's the email address. Questions at northaven-ct.gov. That's questions at northaven-ct.gov. And we also have set up a phone number to have questions come in via voicemail. That number is area code 203-234-1076. And once again, this information can be found on our town website. Now, in compliance with the governor's executive orders, the budget will be voted on and the mill rate will be set by the Board of Finance on May 20th. Let's shift our focus to another very important aspect, a decision we, as the Board of Selectmen, made, myself, Bill Piper, Sally Buemi, regarding municipal taxes this year. And I want to review this again, because I think it's very important. Normally, taxes are due on July 1st. Now, for those who can afford to continue to pay the taxes on that date, we would obviously encourage you to do so. The government always needs to have some sort of cash flow to continue to provide the services. But under the governor's executive order, we recently passed a deferral program, which will extend the grace period to October 1st. That will be the final day that taxes would be paid, October 1st, with no grace period beyond that. This will be in conjunction again with a mill rate reduction, which I will present to the public once again on TV here on May 14th. So I'd like to shift focus now back to COVID-19. And many times, ladies and gentlemen, that you will hear me repeat some of the same things over. And I want to share with you that I do that sometimes because not everyone tunes into these meetings every week. So I think that the repetition of some of these messages is very important. And as the old saying goes, sometimes practice makes perfect, particularly in sports, in business, in government, and sometimes we as people, when we continue to practice the disciplines that we're suggesting, we can defeat this virus, as I've mentioned several times before. So let's take a look at some of the things that we can do to protect ourselves and protect others. The first thing that we must understand is how this virus spreads. Well, what we know is predominantly and mainly it spreads from person to person. It spreads between people who are in close contact with each other. And it spreads through droplets produced when an infected person either talks, coughs, or sneezes. And these droplets can land into other people's respiratory system. Even for those that are asymptomatic, who show no symptoms, those droplets still can end up being lodged in another person's respiratory system through inhaling, through one's nose, through one's mouth, and that's how this virus continues to manifest itself. So what we should continue to do is practice those disciplines, those very important disciplines to defeat this virus. Washing hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. We've talked about that many times before. Ladies and gentlemen, I read a startling statistic recently that prior to this pandemic, only 27 to 43% of the people across the country practice diligent hand washing. This is the critical tool to help us defeat this virus. Now, if soap and water are not available, please consider, if you have it, using a hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Avoid touching your eyes, the nose, the mouth with unwashed hands. We have been talking on a very diligent, regular basis about not gathering in groups. We must continue to maintain the 6-foot social distancing. And we must wear a mask or a protective face covering, covering the nose, down through the chin, through the lower lip. That coverage is very important to continue to protect you and also protect others. The mask or face covering from the bridge of the nose all the way down through the chin is the most effective thing we can do in wearing that protective face mask or protective face shield. In terms of cleaning and disinfecting, these are disciplines that are so critically important, and usually it revolves around frequently touched surfaces, or surfaces, I should say. And those are always something that we take for granted in our daily lives, whether it be doorknobs, locks, TV remotes, computers and computer keyboards, car steering wheels, car door handles, glove boxes in cars, rear view mirrors, car signals, car console panels. And always while disinfecting, it's very important to note to wear those gloves while disinfecting. All those frequently touched surfaces are so important. And by doing that, we can continue to mount a charge to defeat, again, this virus. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's very interesting that unfortunately sometimes in life we have to make adjustments. And we're in a period that now we refer to here as a new norm. And the new norm involves understanding, although this virus has continued to assault the reality of our daily lives, it's so important to make the adjustments. Recently, I received a call, and the call was, "Mr. Freda, where are you getting your hair cut? We thought the barbershops were closed." Well, actually, ladies and gentlemen, I responded by saying that I'm actually cutting my own hair right now. Months ago, I had bought the barber shears, the clippers. I utilized mirrors, a hand mirror, a mirror in front of me, and for some reason, I'm able to do this. And although it's certainly not as good, it doesn't look as good as my favorite barber would do, and I'm looking forward to returning back to my favorite barber when that time comes to continue to support those small local businesses, I've been able to make the adjustment to cut my own hair. And sometimes these adjustments mean having that discipline to continue to disinfect those surfaces that I mentioned, to continue to remember to wash our hands in a very compulsive fashion, and to continue to, while it may not feel comfortable sometimes, to wear that protective face covering. When we look at this battle, and this really, ladies and gentlemen, is a war. And we're in a wartime mode here at Town Hall to get things done, to make decisions, to help our people, to continue to respond to our people, and to continue to try to show and demonstrate that there are tools and weapons to defeat this virus and win this war. And the tools and weapons that we have are all things that we can control. We can control washing our hands. We can control disinfecting those frequently touched surfaces. We have the ability to control putting a face covering over ourselves when we go out, particularly in stores. It's so important. having the tools and weapons at our disposal gives us a significant advantage in this battle against this invisible enemy. And by understanding that and practicing those disciplines, we will win this battle. We will win. And when we look back, months and maybe even years from now, when we look back on this time will go down in history as a critical time in United States history and in history across the world. History has shown that there have been many, many crisis situations down through the generations. With this particular pandemic, I'm hoping that as we look back months and years from now, probably years from now, what we will see, and I hope what we will recognize, is that when a community can come together with a great deal of collective collaboration, and when we look back, when we identify that working together and doing the things collectively, some of the things that we've shown here, when a community comes together in a cohesive fashion, we will win and we will be successful. With that being said, I'd like to close by showing you this slide. And this kind of sums up how we feel here in town. Our Public Works Department put this heart on the town green. And within the heart, it says North Haven Strong. North Haven is a very strong, vibrant community, ladies and gentlemen. North Haven is a community that cares about each other. This symbol that Public Works painted on our beloved town green is also a powerful metaphor for how this government continues to feel about each and every one of you. We love you and we care about you very much, but we need your help to practice the discipline so we can collectively defeat what we're going through right now. Thank you very much for your time. I look forward to being back here at 7 o'clock, and we'll continue to do these updates on a regular basis here at NHTV. Thank you very much.
The preceding program is brought to you in part through a grant from the town of North Haven. Watch town meetings or other videos on demand at nhtv.com.